Start it off.
Okay, welcome everyone to Menomonee Falls Camera Club. Before we start, is there any news on Waco, PSA, or digital form that we need to go over?
Um, for Wacko, we've got the Steve Gettle seminar, which is uh, sep not September. Oh man, I'm already trying to push this year. March 2nd or 3rd, that first Saturday in March.
March 2nd.
25, yeah, March 2nd. Thank you. Um, it's Steve will be talking about backyard nature photography, mainly with birds, and then landscape photography. It starts at 9 o'clock, goes till about 12:30, depending on how much Q&A we end up getting in between. It's $25 for early registration, which ends on February 11th, and then it goes to $35. So sign up now. I just sent out an email today to remind everybody. And for those of you that have signed up, thank you. Let's see, Wacko also has the spring competition has now opened, and you can submit entries for the spring competition on the Wacko website. The two categories are sunrise, sunset for open special theme. Nature is. Ken, are you here? You remember?
Flowers. It's flowers.
Flowers. Thank you. Flowers. The big trick is that it has to be in nature. It cannot have any hand of man. It can't be moved into a studio. So it needs to be outside, and I would definitely watch that you don't get any hand of man when you're outside. We've somewhat redefined or defined better the rules for what can be entered. Basically, all parts of the image should be your own, but you can use the remove tool, pretty much any of the tools except for generative expand and generative fill. Those two you can't. Also, you can't use sky removal. You cannot use sky removal in sunrise and sunset either. So that is the one special rule for sunrise, sunset. Other than that, if you have any questions, you can contact Ken or I, and we'll be glad to do it. If you've never entered before, please remember that it can take 24 to 48 hours for us to approve you before you can enter.
So Jeff, just to make sure, that's the flower one you can now use like spot removal.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no, that's nature. That's nature. And the nature definition
still
does not allow you to remove anything.
Other than dust spots.
Right.
Stuff like that.
So those must be wildflowers.
No, they don't have to be. They can be daffodils, tulips, all that is included.
Yeah, and should be a definition for that you've got on the website, Jeff, right?
Yeah, I'm just grabbing it right now so I can read it quick. The flower theme includes wildflowers, domesticated flowers, cultivated flowers such as roses, tulips, etc. The subject should be present in its natural environment and should not be moved to a studio location. Images captured in a greenhouse, botanical gardens, and the like are allowed, but no hand of man should be visibly present. So you have to watch out for the hand of man. That's going to be the trickiest part.
Yeah, so a lot of our Shady Lane pictures are going to be difficult to use if you've got a flower pot as part of the image, for example.
Right.
So you
So
really would have to have almost a straight shot into the flower itself and crop it so it's just a flower type of thing.
Or make sure
Yep.
you got other flowers behind it,
Right, exactly.
covering up that pot.
Yep. Jane, did
Jane,
you
it looks
have
like-
something?
Well, I thought in the newsletter that on the sunrise sunset little description, it said that replacing skies was allowed,
No,
No.
no, it's not allowed.
but it's not allowed. So, you
Right.
know, that was an error in our most recent newsletter to the
Okay.
club.
Yeah, when I scanned the newsletter, I guess I didn't see that part in there. So, yeah, it's definitely sky replacement. Let's see, we worded it poorly in the announcement. It says no sky replacement is allowed, and it should say sky replacement is not allowed. Same way, but no shouldn't be first. It doesn't make its sense as much. But so yeah, everything must be that's probably the only special rule in open special theme this time, is that no sky replacement for your sunrise, sunset.
Yeah, and it kind of makes sense because you wouldn't want to, since the subject matter is sunrise and sunset, you wouldn't want to have a sky that you put in there just for the sky as part of the image.
Yeah, you're manipulating the main subject.
Yeah, right.
So, all right. Well, I guess the next thing would be, I guess we might be planning a field trip, to Port Washington lakefront, led by Ken and Jane. Is that still happening? Maybe, or did it happen?
Well, it could have happened if any of us were brave enough to go out there.
You would have got some
Um,
pretty cool pictures.
Yeah,
I did Lake Michigan. I didn't do Port. I went downtown Milwaukee instead.
Yeah, you know, I guess it was just so cold and I couldn't get up the gumption.
It was cold. It
To
was
do
cold.
that.
Well, it was.
My eyelashes froze together when I squinted down my viewfinder one time.
Well, that's actually great because that worked out great for the president's challenge for this month. Cold weather.
Yeah, Elizabeth did tell me to submit those, and I never did.
Oh, disappointed. Well, that's okay.
You have to go check Instagram. I got them out on Instagram.
Okay, we can do that. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, usually we like the colder weather and especially with the cold weather allows the mist to come into the harbor there and get over by that light structure and really makes for interesting sunrise. And then sometimes we have the birds taking off while the sun's orange, while the whole sky is orange with the mist and everything.
I wonder how that would have worked out. What the last 2 days we had that freezing fog. That probably would have been maybe pretty cool to get that.
Yeah, that might have been neat too, but then most of us have to drive a distance to get there, and I'm not
True.
sure if that would have been the best conditions for that. So
Little
I
snow,
don't know,
little
I don't know
cold.
what to suggest at this point, because right now we've got warmer weather for some time. So I don't know if you had any more ideas on that, Jane?
The warm weather doesn't thrill me with going to port. And of course we need something other than gray skies. If you're going to be there for sunrise, you need some sun.
There's a
Now, there's a thunderstorm coming up they're talking about later this week, which might make some great moody clouds out there. So I encourage anybody who desires to go to give Port a chance. I just don't know that I'm going to be doing it.
Okay, all right. Well, that's fine. Would we like to do, it's up to everyone, the PSA club showcase judging, or we can do the show and tell? Jeff, which one would you like to do first?
Whichever anybody else would like us to do, I can do either one.
And also for the judging, I hope everyone has their spreadsheet for writing down the judging.
Yeah, does everybody have the spreadsheet? You can either print it out and fill it out, or you could fill it out online. I use the Excel spreadsheet system. So, well, both Excel and Pages is what we sent out.
Jeff, do you have the date that you sent that out?
That went out with the newsletter.
I do know that Jane also has a favorite image slideshow, and that takes 20 minutes. I think we should do that towards the end.
Sure, that's fine. It's just going to take me a second here to.
No problem. And then the president's photo challenge, we'll do that, I guess, the very last thing. And if we run out of time, we can always do it the next month too.
I just got to find it.
Well, I just found it, Jeff. It's
No, I'm trying to
Oh.
find the photos.
Oh, okay. The score sheet was sent out on February 1st. And Ellen sent them out.
Right.
Last week, Thursday.
No, that's the back.
Yeah, I did note that they were attached to, they were sent with the newsletter first, and then either the Excel or the Pages document was also included afterwards, so.
I also know that I believe Linnea sent out, it was a free after-hour tour at the Alice, wait, I always get that backwards. Charles Alice Art Museum. But right now it looks like it's all sold out, and it looked like there was only a limited of 40 people, 40 guests.
And that is correct, Clint. I know Jim and I were talking, Jim's planning on going. I
Okay.
really don't know the whole thing, but it sounds kind of cool. It sounds kind of cultural. And the most information I have right now is on their website. They have updated it, and the curator of the Charles Alice Museum, which is the owner of Alice Chalmers, it's his house. He and the company also owned Villa Louis, which we could always tour if we wanted to. I know the executive director. And
Okay.
so it's photography in the digital age. So there's some tickets that might become available. And Jim, I was going to call him today, just let him know. But I found out the most information. They're going through the different photographers over history. And it seems kind of film. I don't know what to tell you other than that. It just sounds kind of cool. But that's what it is.
Okay. Well, I think it is cool. I mean, I thank you for bringing that to our attention and that. And it would be kind of cool. Maybe somehow, if we can't do it this time, maybe we can work with them later at another time that they'd be willing to open it up, to us too.
And absolutely, she will. She will. Whenever we want to go there, like maybe a summer day, the gardens of the Villa Louis are just gorgeous.
Yes.
So whenever we want to, she would let us.
Okay. Well, thank you for looking into that for us. And thank you for always checking for opportunities. You do come up with some great suggestions and ideas.
Clint, I got two real quick while Jeff's doing his thing.
Sure.
First one, I mentioned both of these last month, but I'll bring it up again. The Orchid Show is starting this weekend at the Chicago Botanic Garden. The photographer hour tickets are also on sale right now. The first one being this Tuesday, a week from today, the 13th.
Okay.
That's the one I'm going to. Every Tuesday from now till March 19th. So there's like 6 of them. You can go, you can get the photographer hour one, and they let you in at 8:15 in the morning before the general admission. So that's the only time that you can shoot the orchids with a tripod or lights or all that stuff that you want. The rest of the time you can take pictures, you just can't have a tripod during the normal hours. So figure I'd mention that. It's $24 for a non-member and $13 for a member. So there's that. And then the other part, as you can see in my background, Out of Chicago Live is this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's an online conference done over Zoom. It's $300. There's like over 100 different conferences or presentations. I'm actually hosting 3 of them. So I like introduce the people and stuff like that. But I just figured I'd bring that up for any of those interested. I know Ken, you've done in the past. I'm not sure who, or at least Ken, you've done the videos, I think after the fact is what you did, I think. Right?
I can't remember which one I did but it was very good. Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you bought one of the years. You bought the video because you can watch the video, they're all recorded and you can watch them for a year later. So some pretty awesome photographers, all types of different styles, different talks, that type of stuff. You can find all the information on outofchicago.com if you're curious about it. So those are 2 things happening in the Chicago Auto Show's going on. That's the other thing. I'm shooting that. I'm going down there Monday to take pictures. So I have a busy weekend between a photo conference, an auto show, and a orchid show, and my daughter's birthday.
Speaking of flowers, I noticed that on our 2024 upcoming meetings list, we don't have the flower shoot we normally do in the spring and May. Is that something we want to do? I think we had talked about it, but it didn't get on the calendar.
Yeah, I think there's quite a lot of people
Go
that
away
like
or
to go on that.
another.
I know it's on my program sheet for May of
Yeah, I'm
2024.
looking at the newsletter, so that's what I'm going by.
Oh, yeah,
It's not in the
I
newsletter.
don't think, because we didn't have a date yet.
Well, there's a lot of dates, most of those don't have dates. Mother's Day is May 12th. Last year or so, we've been doing it the Saturday before, which would then be May 4th. So normally there's a lot of flowers around then. Last year they were pretty slow blooming, but I guess I'd suggest May 4th for the spring flower shoot.
That's a good date.
Yeah,
That's
I think that's a
wacko.
really good idea. A great
Yeah.
date.
Okay, Ellen, can you go with that one then in the newsletter, please?
That's Wacko Day.
Yeah,
Wacko Spring Competition Day.
That's
Oh.
the spring competition day, May 4th. Or wait, yeah,
Maybe that might not be a good date then.
yeah, May 4th won't work for,
Well,
group
we can
of
do it
us.
the 11th. There'll be a lot of people in around Mother's Day, but there'll be a lot of stuff going on. If we get in early enough, it ought to be okay. So it's May 11th work better.
Is
What
it too-
about earlier at the very end of April?
Yeah, is it too late or too early?
Well,
For
probably
April?
last year it'd have been too early.
Yeah, I know.
I ended
every
up going
year is
back the
different.
following week. It was so early last year.
Yeah, or we could go, the
18th?
we go the 18th. There'll be fewer flowers there, but they'll be further along. So take your pick.
We've done the day before Mother's Day in the past. I mean, like Brian says, it's busier, but as long as you're respectful of the actual customers or buy something yourself, and they don't.
But that conflicts
Yeah.
with.
No, I'm saying the
before
11th.
Mother's Day. Is that
The
what you
11th.
said?
Yeah, I'm saying the
The
11th
11th,
before
yeah.
Mother's Day.
11th. The 11th.
11th probably works because the 18th, you and Ken are going to be up in Door County, aren't you?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, well then it gets back to
May the
original.
11th. It's sold.
The 11th.
Going once, twice. It's sold. May 11th.
2 hours later, we got the 11th down.
Forget what I said before, Ellen.
You were right.
Yeah, that is one of our favorite programs for the Menomonee Falls Camera Club. We usually get a great turnout for that.
Yeah, we have, year after year.
Yep.
And I'll think about the zoo outing in the spring, so maybe we'll do that in April, but anybody have a date?
And I might do a Chicago trip in June again. We haven't done one of those for a while.
You're talking about this. So we were talking about 2 zoo outings, one like an indoor one like we did last year, and then an outdoor one in June. But
Okay.
so
Mine
the
can be
indoor
July.
one,
I don't care.
we can talk about that. We got time, and we'll bring that up again next month. I'll think about it. Thanks.
Sure.
Oh,
Okay, I think I'm ready unless we got more to talk about.
no,
I have a question.
Sure.
This thing for next month by Lewis Katz, are we supposed to send some images in? And how many, if we are, and who do they go to?
Okay, it would be 2 images per person. You would send them to me, Jeff Klug. My email's in the newsletter. It's kpw1255@gmail.com. And they can be any types of images. We need them. Ellen, did you put the date that I said in the newsletter?
No, I did not know what date you needed them by.
Okay. Let's see. So that's the 5th. He wanted them a week before. So I would guess I need to have them at the latest February 25th.
Now, he did a lot with black and white. Are they supposed to be in black and white or any?
No, it could be anything, color or black and white.
Okay.
I'm curious to see what he comes up with, seeing he will be, outside our camera club. So that'll be interesting, a different perspective, different viewpoint.
Jeff, I will send out a notice before the 25th of February, a couple days before, reminding people to send those images to you for the Lewis Katz critiquing session.
Okay. That would be good.
Okay.
Why am I having so much troubles today? I said this desktop. Okay, so let's see if this works. Hey, we got a bird.
Mandarin
Okay.
duck.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a duck. Okay, so what we have here, everybody should have their score sheet. We have 91 images that we need to judge. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 images that are our own that we don't judge. I will call those numbers out when we get them. As you can tell on the score sheet, a score of 5 is the best, 2 is the worst. You want to have an average of 4 to 6 5s, 30 or so 4s, 40 or so 3s, 10 or so 2s. None of the numbers need to be exact, but they should be relatively close. I'll run through the images once, then I'll run through them slower so that everybody can score them. And then I'll run through them a 3rd time so everybody can check their scores and see if they want to make any changes. We'll see how long my voice holds out as I call out the numbers. And if anybody wants to know, I'm trying something different. That's why it took me a while to get this going. I am not using Lightroom Classic like I normally do. This is Adobe Lightroom, what we used to call the mobile version. So I'm going to see how well this works compared to using Lightroom where I had to import everything in.
It's kind of nice because I already see it as, image 1, JPEG 1. So
yep, you can see up in the top it says 01, so that can help you also when you're scoring. So this is number 1. Oops, I got it. Number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, 10, 11, 12 is ours, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 is ours, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38 is ours, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51 is ours, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, whoops, 62, 63, 64, which is ours, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77 is ours, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90 is ours, and 91.
And there were some really exceptional good pictures in there.
Yep.
Too many 4s and 5s.
Yeah, there's quite a lot. It's like, yeah, I think we're gonna break the record.
Yeah, well, don't go much over 6 on the 5s, please.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she'll disqualify it.
Sorry, how I see it is how I call it. So
Yeah. Okay, I'll go a little slower this time so you can look at the photos a little better. Although number 1 is getting a good view by everybody. So here we go. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10, number 11, #12 is ours, number 13, #14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 is ours, 26, #27, 28, 29. 30. 31. 32. 33. 34. 35. 36. 37. 38 is ours. 39. 40. 41. 42. 43. 44. 45. 46. 47. 48. 49. 50. 51 is ours. 52. 53. 54. 55. 56. 57. 58. 59. 60. 61. 62. 63. 64 is ours. 65. 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77 is ours, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90 is ours, and 91. I'll give everybody a second to check their scores and see how they're doing. Does everybody want me to go through it one more time?
Yes, please.
You bet.
You want me to wait a little longer or you want me to start now?
I need more time.
Okay.
Yeah, I added my spreadsheet, so 2, 3, 4, 5. It tells me exactly how many numbers how many numbers of each number I have.
Oh, that's smart.
So that helps out a lot, but they might have to reevaluate the scoring because it's there. The competition is getting really good, and there are some really good pictures in here.
Yep. Sometimes it gets down to the nitty gritty on some of the pictures.
I mean, the sad thing is you'll have to put like a bunch of fives together and like, okay, accept this, no, reject. So you have to, my fives will be different compared to someone else's fives. Same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing with ones.
Yeah, and this goes to 13 different clubs are judging it. And all the scores are added up from all the different people that have judged it, and then they'll decide, find out which images have the highest scores, and that's what's going to win medals and HMs. So it'll be interesting.
I
Over
just
the
want to
last-
clarify, in the past, we've said don't score lower than 3, but is this scoring an exception to score 2?
Yeah, this scoring would be an exception because of
I get it. Okay, just
the way it is.
okay.
Yeah.
I missed that point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Normally, I would never tell you to score a 2.
Okay, I'm looking at the score sheet and that's implied there. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
So do we mail the spreadsheet to you, Jeff?
Yeah, you can email it to me, or if you want, I can give you my address to mail it. Be nicer if you could just email it to me.
Okay.
And when I'm done sharing, I will put my email in the chat so everybody can have it easily.
I was just gonna say that's your Gmail account, right, Jeff?
Right.
The one in the newsletter. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
What I'll do is I'll edit because I know it just says PSA Club Showcase score sheet. I'll put down 2024 or 2023 to 2024.
Yep. I'll be relabeling all the score sheets as I get them. So
Okay. Although I do see on your main top above it says PSA Showcase score sheet from Menomonee Falls Camera Club, and then it shows 2-6-24.
yeah.
So
It's like everybody's ready, Jeff.
Okay. Is everybody ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Well, this is number 1. Everybody's seen it probably the most. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Number 8. Number 9. 10. 11. 12 is ours. 13. $14. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 is ours, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38 is ours, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51 is ours, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64 is ours, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77 is ours. 78. 80. So how about 79 first? 80. 81. 82. 83. 84. 85. 86. 87. 88. 89. 90 is ours. 91.
Well, does anyone else need to do one more last quick review on the pictures?
Oh,
Going once? Going twice? I guess that's sold.
Good. Great.
All right. Well, I guess the next thing, those were some really good pictures within that group. Man, the competition is getting pretty hard in that,
Yeah.
which is great. So I guess the next thing would be is we could do show and tell. Jesse and Pat, would you like to go? Any of you two?
I'll go.
Okay.
Jesse, you're muted.
Jesse, you're still muted.
Okay.
Okay, now we can hear you.
Yeah. I don't see her on
Okay.
my screen, so I couldn't tell.
I put a calendar together every year and I always have my doggy as January and this was 2024. And then in the spring, we go up north to our campgrounds up there, our campsite. And I do the wildflowers and this is a bloodroot that was taken last spring. I can't wait to get back up there and take more pictures. Soon, I hope. And this was again up north in the wooded area, the yellow trout lily. And of course, the trilliums. Had a lot of those too up there. This was, I was out on a walk with my dog and I saw this flower along the sidewalk. I don't know what it is, but it had this bee on it. This is a cell phone picture. Took a picture of that. I like take pictures of bees and any other type of bugs. This was up north. Okay. It was a cell phone picture of the cornfield, the sunrise, and the edge of the woods. And then this is also a picture that I took of some ducks. There were two separate pictures, but I put them together. So that's not a sky replacement. That was
Just a duck replacement.
yeah, a duck replacement. This was up north. Daddy long legs on some wildflowers. This was in my backyard. Like I said, I like to take pictures of the bees, and they're kind of hard to take pictures of when you're flying around so fast. But I found if I go out at night or towards dusk, they're looking for a place to sleep. So I got this one on my coneflower, and he was looking for a place to sleep, and he was just hanging out there. And I used a flash on this, and turned out I like it. And he wasn't moving at all. This was in our backyard. I set up some feeders and fill them in the mornings and just watch all the birds come in. There's a blue jay in our evergreen tree. Sparrow. We got lots of sparrows. And a chickadee. And then a couple times a year, I go out and take pictures of the night sky. This was up north where it's pretty dark. And I sit in the middle of the road so I can get the trees in there and take some pictures. And of course, I only do this like once a year. So, but when I decide I'm going to do it, I got to bring out the book and say, okay, now how do I set everything up? Takes me a while, but they turn out okay. And then in the fall, of course, my favorites are the milkweeds. I tell all the guys when they're going up there with their four-wheelers, don't you run over those milkweed plants. We got about 4 acres of milkweeds. Another milkweed. And another milkweed. And then I went through the woods this fall, late fall, when we get some frosty mornings. I found this puddle out in the woods that was frozen over and had this leaf in it. This was in mid-December in a pond here in Grafton. There was just that little bit of open area. Found this blue heron in there, and he did catch something. I can't tell what it is besides the leaf, but he's got something there. I don't know if it's a catfish or what it is. And then when it gets really cold, then I do some inside stuff, tabletop stuff. That's all I got.
Jesse, that one picture of the bee that you did with your cell phone, smartphone.
Oh, the cell phone?
Yeah, the cell phone.
Yeah.
That one right there. That's incredible how good these cameras are getting on our smartphone.
Oh, this is the first cell phone I could take pictures with that turned out any decent. And I got it like last year. I'm really happy with it. Otherwise, my pictures were all crummy.
How many of these pictures that you showcased tonight, how many of them were with your smartphone, cell phone?
Let me go back and see. That one, this one, the sunrise was. Just those two.
Just those two? Okay.
Yeah. I do have others, but just those two right now.
Jesse, for the bird shots, assume you're still using Olympus?
Yes, I am.
And then what lens with that?
I have the 100 to 400.
Yeah, nice shots.
Thank you.
Yeah, that blue jay was really nice and sharp and clean.
Yeah, and he just sat there for not very long, but I saw him fly in there and I was able to catch him. There was a nice background on there too.
You are the milkweed queen.
I like those milkweeds.
I can't even say it. Milkweed queen. Jeez.
Try it one more time.
No,
They're
also different, you know. You're never the same.
Hey, Jesse, does your Olympus have that starry autofocus setting?
It does.
You tried that?
I have, but it doesn't work real good on like the stars like that. I
Oh,
just I just use it with a timer and just click it when I start it and then stop it, count off so many seconds and
Yeah, but does the autofocus on the stars work? Because
it
the
does.
autofocus is that you don't have to manual focus on the stars. It
Right,
would autofocus on them for you.
right.
That
But
work?
it does, but I still like to do it manually.
Well, Pat, I guess you're next.
Okay. See if we can share the screen and share. Open to. I want Zoom. Wants me to allow Zoom to share. Hang on. New computer.
I guess after Pat, we'll do the favorite slideshow by Jane, right?
Sounds good to me.
And then the last, I guess, would be the president's photo challenge then. So
Ed, is it an Apple computer or Mac or
Yeah,
PC?
it's a laptop. It's a Mac Pro.
Okay, you probably need to go into preferences or
Yeah, it took me
settings.
there. I went to share.
here we are.
Okay, yeah,
You can see it?
yeah.
Okay.
So looks like you might be okay.
All right, let's see when this comes up. I'm also playing with the new Lightroom also. Okay, I take it you can see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I decided to share with you guys some of my favorite things to shoot. And I love going to butterfly sanctuaries, and I've been to at least 4 of them I can think of right offhand. One in Scottsdale, Arizona, is really's got a nice one. Another nice one's up in Toronto, Canada, and then there's one in Madison, Ulbrich Gardens out there, and then I went to the Milwaukee County Zoo also. So which ones were taken where I couldn't tell you right offhand, and these are taken with between a Canon 5D and a Sony AR7 IV. So start out with butterflies. They're always interesting in these places, and I can sit in there for hours and shoot these guys. This was at the Milwaukee County Zoo when they had their butterfly thing. I don't even know if they have it anymore. So I think this one was up in Canada. I think this one was out in Scottsdale. This one also. This one here, this is a composite. I had a piece of wood that I liked the shape of, and I took the picture of it because I liked the lines in it. And then I thought, oh, maybe I'll add this butterfly to it. So I put this on top of it, just for the heck of it, just to try something different. My next favorite is zoo pictures. I love going to zoos and shooting the animals. That's always fun. I really enjoy our June outing when we go. This guy's in the Atlanta Zoo. This is in Milwaukee. Most of these are from Milwaukee. This guy's in Milwaukee. This one is the bear taking a bath. Oh, and then the other thing, of course, I enjoy is flowers. This one here was done with light painting. This was at the sunflower farm, which was out near Jeff's place, which was a great day. I went on the Friday and we had just great lighting that day. These were all done with the Sony 90mm macro. This one here is kind of a Mike Moats copy. I tried this. The kids came over for Thanksgiving and brought my wife and I a great big bouquet of flowers, and this rose was in there also. So I thought, well, I'm going to try taking this, and this was taken at f/22. And it actually turns out pretty clear. This was done the same way. Oh, and then end of last August into September, my wife and I took a 2-week cruise up to Alaska and then back down. And we did a couple excursions, and we're on the road in the morning on this photo excursion, and we run into this fox just laying by the side. And we were able to get an eagle sitting in a tree, which I got a ton of pictures of him. It was pretty close too, and I was using the my 400mm lens, so this is hardly cropped at all. And then he decided to take off. I wish I could have gotten the head side, but I guess you got to take what you get. Oh, and then we went whale watching, which was a great day because we got a lot of whale tail out there that day. Also, they told us that all the whale tails are different. They're unique, and every whale's tail is different. They have a whole book identifying all the different whales they've got in this harbor. These are all humpbacks. The other thing I like to do is do the backgrounds, create backgrounds, and then add them to this. This was the big boy when it took its ride through Wisconsin into Chicago, and I went with a friend of mine down to Chicago, and there was a gazillion people all over the place with barricades. So I was able to do this with the background, so it improved this immensely. This is a rhino at the zoo. This is another one of the backgrounds. I started playing with Firefly, and you can create all sorts of backgrounds in Firefly. It's just amazing. This is another zoo picture with another Firefly background. Another one. This is another one. I've got two versions of this one in black and white. I'm debating which one I like better. There's another one with the bear in the water. This is a sparrow that I took in my backyard with another background on it. This is another sunflower which was out west of 164, like off of Plainview Road. This was a couple of years ago. My wife and I were out there, and I put the background in. So another one I had. This was during COVID. I had picked up some flowers and I was taking them by the back window because I was trying to use just natural light, and then I was adding backgrounds to it. And a daffodil is another one they had found. They found this actually in the park, and then I put the background in. And that's it.
Oh, very nice, man. Impressive, both you two. Well, I suppose in Jane's favorite images, we're going to see some really phenomenal pictures.
We had 25 participants, so
Oh,
it was a very good turnout. Now, Jeff, I have to hit something for the sound too.
Yeah, make sure you check the two boxes in the bottom of the share screen.
Okay,
One for sound and the other for playing video.
okay. Let's hope I can just plain get there. Because all this stuff always comes up. Oh, shoot. I probably went too quick. I'm going to do that again.
Yeah, once you hit the green share button,
Share
you get all the
sound,
time.
optimize. Okay.
Yeah, before you hit the share button.
And so please let me know that you guys are seeing it
Yep,
and hearing it.
here too.
Okay.
Well, thank you everyone for participating and submitting some beautiful pictures in that. And thank you, Jean, for putting that wonderful slideshow together. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Excellent.
Cool. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to do the slideshow for the Menomonee Falls Camera Club Cold Weather President's Challenge. So let me share screen. Let's see here. Share sound. Up a nice video clip. And let's give this a try and see if this works. All right. Share. Now press play. What? Hopefully this is working out now.
Yep.
Okay, good. All right, people. I want to say thank you, everyone that submitted pictures, and thank you for braving the cold weather. I know it wasn't too warm, but cold weather, part of the challenge. So, anyone needs to make any comments? Anyone had some pretty cool experiences on photographing the last couple months?
Quiet group.
Real quiet. I think the people got to unmute them and.
I saw a couple other people went down to the art museum. It's now lit up with different colors. So you can still see it on Thursdays because they're open till 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So if you want to check it out, go on a Thursday night. That's the only night they're open at 8. Otherwise, they close at 5 and the wings fold up. So you can't really see the lights at that point, and it's too bright after that. So
Okay.
sun doesn't go down early enough anymore for it, except Thursdays. And there's a cool
Go
ahead.
Sorry, when you do your art museum wings photo,
Mhm.
what settings are you using to catch some of the motion, but not too much?
So the one that I shared in the favorites, it's multiple exposures that I in Photoshop layered on top of each other. So I sit there, I set up like an hour and a half before they close to get a spot, and then as it's closing, I actually the last time, because my camera can do time lapse, I just set it to time lapse every 3 seconds. And then after the fact, I pick out the ones that I want that line up, and then I just blend them in Photoshop.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the other thing I was going to mention is if you haven't been to the art museum this year, there's a cool glass exhibit right there in the main atrium of the Calatrava, called the Iceberg. It's like these 4 panes of glass in front of each other, and it's mostly blue. It's pretty cool looking. I recommend checking it out. It's only going to be there through, I think, the middle of March.
The Scholastic exhibition starts pretty soon too in February. That's always kind of fun to see by area high school kids.
Ian, are they still doing, well, we can probably get into the museum Thursday nights until 8, right?
The Calatrava part, the white part,
Right,
is
right.
completely free to get into anytime the museum's open. You just can't go into the actual art museum exhibits without
Right,
paying,
right,
or the
okay.
special exhibit, whatever's going on special. But
So
yeah,
the
you can go into the
glasswork-
wings
The glasswork you're talking about would be
totally free.
totally, okay, great.
That's in the main hall, yeah.
Yep. I recommend Thursdays for that too. You can obviously, it looks cool with the light too, but I went 2 Thursdays ago, I think it was. It was completely dead. There was nobody there. I had the whole room to myself. It was me and the security guard, because there's always a security guard standing there to make sure nobody touches it. But it was just me and the security guard, and the nice part is the windows behind it are totally black because it's so late. So the blue really pops there. I've seen it both during the day and the night. During the day, it gets very backlit and everything, and you can see the railing and the rocks and everything in the background. So I recommend go see it at night.
Is that open year round at 8 o'clock on Thursdays?
Mm-hmm.
It'd be kind of cool as maybe some cool sunrises. Let's try some moonrises would be pretty cool.
I just posted on Instagram a couple days ago, or today, I think it was today. I had a picture of there's like this almost like sail coming out up the middle of it with all the cables and everything. And I
Okay.
had it lined up right with the moon. And one of the days that I went, you could actually see the moon through when you're inside the museum, you could see the moon through the spine of the building, because there is like a window there. It was pretty cool.
Cool. Well, I know it's a little early. I mean, we still got about 15 minutes. I'm gonna leave it open for like an open table discussion, round table discussion. Or maybe people want to just go to bed early.
Is anybody going to the Orchid Show? Does anybody plan on going down there? Patty is, Brian is, Ken is. Are you guys, any of you going Tuesday? Okay. Wasn't sure if I'd see you on Tuesday or not. So
Yeah, I know Ken, Brian, and I are planning to go, but it's on a Thursday.
fair enough.
Wow.
Yeah, for me, Tuesday worked out because I'm going to the auto show the day before. I'm just gonna stay down there at my dad's and then see the Orchid Show the next day. So
Well, hopefully the weather will be nice. Well, it looks like if you're going this Thursday, you said?
I'm going next Monday and Tuesday. I'm going to Orchid Show on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I'll be down there on Monday.
Okay.
So
Okay.
hopefully overcast Tuesday morning, because I've been to the Orchid Show both with bright sun and overcast conditions. Bright sun can make it, orchids are hard enough, but with bright sun, you got hot spots everywhere. So, and shadows everywhere. So
Sometimes the overcast is kind of nice, and that
yeah.
I know, not trying to talk about myself, but I know I had to do a photo shoot at the 128th and I did 7 KC 135s were supposed to take off. So I actually had my military clearance to be on base and also to be actually on the active runway at the time when they were going right by me. So that
Nice.
was a unique opportunity. But then it was funny because then I had to do a photo shoot later of live music, and I finally made it home 21 hours later. I finally made it back home. So it was a long day. I was on the 128 before even the sun came up. And then I went home when the sun was gone for like 9 hours later. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Jane, if you can send me that favorites video, I'll post it on the website.
What format do you want that in, Jeff?
.mov or MPEG M4
Okay.
key, either one. Send it by WeTransfer is probably the simplest because it's going to be big.
It's gonna be big.
Yep.
I'll
So
see what I can do.
anyone's excited about doing some photography anytime soon? Anyone excited? Yes, no, maybe, possibility?
I'm waiting for more snow.
Waiting for
the birds to
come back.
I know with this warm weather and that they were talking about some of the trees are starting to bud and that. I know, I forget how many years ago, maybe 10 years ago or so, tulip time in Holland, Michigan. The one year it got so warm in March, it was like in the 80s, 80, 85 for like, I don't know, 10 days. And it's funny because by the time tulip time came, Tulip Fest, the flowers all came up and they all died. So they call it Stem Festival instead.
Yeah, daffodils already coming up for people in places. Not great. It's a little early for them.
Yeah, I got some showing through the ground.
Time to get the lawnmower out.
Well, maple syrup should be starting to flow. The sap should be starting to flow soon if we get the 50s.
True, true.
I've
Which will
got
be
a
a little
maple tree
early.
that's dripping all over the place.
Yeah.
One
Yeah,
of my
it probably
neighbors is
already started.
collecting sap too.
Get your Milwaukee drill out and drill a hole in the tree.
Boy, this is a quiet group tonight.
Yeah, I was getting a little worried about that. It's like, come on, people,
Yeah.
we gotta find something to talk about. Photography, any techniques or tips and hints?
Well, I've got a question for the group, although I Googled it and tried their recipe, but it didn't work very well. You know, I had some white snow and a tree, you know, and it was quite foggy. And so after I had worked on it and, you know, sort of liked the tree and the landscape behind it, which was really just plain white, when I looked at it close up, I could see a whiter line around the tree that wasn't on my raw file. So when I had developed it, I introduced that bright white line. It's almost sort of like a
halo.
Like a halo, exactly. And you know, I tried one of the recipes online to get rid of it, but it didn't work. So does anybody have any suggestions, any relatively easy fixes for that?
When you process it, did you denoise it? I mean, I guess you probably shouldn't have to denoise, but did you use denoise?
I did use denoise, yeah, and that might have been the culprit that introduced that, you know, halo effect.
I think that has done a couple times with my live music once in a while. I mean, sometimes you want that effect, but that might be one culprit, maybe.
Yeah.
How much sharpening did you put in? Because that's an old question.
I'm sorry, what was your question?
How much sharpening? Because if you over sharpen, you'll get haloing.
Yeah. I mean, it was just what denoise does, topaz denoise. They add a little sharpening. Maybe I could turn that back down.
But you don't see it in the original file. Is that correct, Jane?
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I
there is
I really had to up the contrast because there was such heavy fog.
That might be your cause, actually.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's the contrast. You've boosted the contrast so far that it's
Yeah.
creating that white line. Are you in
haze on it?
Lightroom?
Yeah.
Have you played with denoise? Yeah, somebody just mentioned, I
Denoise.
think, Brian, you might just said denoise instead of the contrast slider.
Scott Kelby has a
toy
good
with
way
that.
of getting rid of halos. He in the Photoshop, he takes the clone stamp, and then where it says normal, where you go down and you darken, and then you take a little sample above the line, and you go along that line.
Okay, say it again, Ken.
Okay, in Photoshop, you use the clone stamp, and then there's a thing for like normal, and then
Yep.
a drop down menu, and you can go to darken, and you take the area right close to the line and click on it, like the sky, for example, and then you go right along the line, and that should darken the line.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I could try that.
Give it a try.
Hopefully that works out. I mean, do some techniques in that. What would be kind of cool is you might actually get that halo effect. We've been having this freezing fog out by us, and maybe that would be kind of cool in one aspect to have that glow effect. Because it almost looks like the trees dipped in water and frozen.
It could be. This was along the trunk, and it wasn't exceptionally noticeable, but I did see it, and then I tried to fix it, and my fix didn't work. The guy had me, the video I watched was using luminosity masking in Lightroom. And I just didn't, it's such a fine, it's only a few pixels wide. I just couldn't get it.
Jane, can I ask you, did you mask the trunk or the sky behind it?
No.
Okay.
No, it was almost like a whole whiteout scene with this, lone tree standing there. But the tree also had quite a bit of fog over it. So, I really upped the contrast to bring out that tree.
But you didn't contrast everything. So did you have a mask on the tree when you did the contrast?
No, I think I was just using the contrast slider in general, globally.
All right.
Yeah, maybe if you just did pick the tree and just contrast that instead of contrast the whole picture, maybe.
Maybe. I'll have to revisit it. All sorts of thoughts here now.
Well, at least we had a little discussion about that, hopefully that works out. Anyone else having any difficulties with their photo?
Yeah, and Jane, check out Photoshop Cafe and crazy easy way to fix mask edges in Lightroom. And I think that's gonna remove it. They show how to remove halos, and he does a really nice job of explaining how to do it.
Okay.
And if you don't fool with Lightroom, he also does it in Photoshop too, I think.
Thank you for looking that up, Jeff, for Jane.
Yeah. Yeah,
I have
he's
a
also got it
question
in
on-
Photoshop.
Go ahead. I have a question on cleaning the sensor of my Nikon mirrorless camera. What's kind of the best product that you found to do that? Is there a handy video that walks you through the process?
I use Delkin products for my cameras. You have actual dust stuck on the sensor?
Yeah, I have a couple of pieces that are on there, and I was just looking at, I haven't cleaned it in a couple years, so.
Okay. First thing I would try to do is take a bulb and try to blow the dust off, holding the camera upside down so that when you blow on it, the dust drops away.
Yeah.
That's the simplest and first step that you go through. The next then is, I'm trying to think of it. I use Delkin cleaning products. They've got sensor swabs and that. I'm trying to remember the other.
And that's DELCON, Delcon?
DELKEN.
Oh, AEN, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ian had one. I think he was showing.
Yeah. I use VS Go. I just get them off
Okay.
Amazon. I've never had a problem with them. They make them both in APS-C size and full frame size swabs. And then I get the little solution.
Okay. And what was that again, Ian? What's the name of that?
VS Go. VSGO.
I know many years ago they used to always suggest Eclipse because Eclipse is pure methanol, methanol. And because of its extremely light weight for a molecule, it completely comes off of your sensor, nothing's left behind, and it has no water in it. It's a little more difficult to get because they don't like to ship that. But you can find it and Amazon will send it to you in a little bottle, but Eclipse is one of them. The only thing I would just say is be careful touching it or putting it on your hands for any length of time. I would probably use gloves. Some people are very sensitive to it and they can cause some problems for people. So, but that's actually a commercial grade product for cleaning sensors.
Yeah, be careful if it's not rated for camera sensors because I don't know about the parts inside the camera. There's Visible Dust is a good company for getting that sensor cleaning kits, and it's got special solution for sensors. It's got the swabs. You can find it at B&H and Adorama.
Roger's got a nice screen sensor cleaning kit, full frame.
Yeah. I've used this a few times on my camera and had real good luck with it. It's basically a swab that's the width of the sensor, and you put a special cleaning solution on it, and you draw it across at an angle once, and then you roll it over and draw on the second side of it back, and it's done a nice job for me.
So the brand is UEG or S? You're muted.
Looks like
Roger,
an S.
you're muted.
Looks like it's
Yeah,
UES.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just bought this, I believe, off Amazon.
I forget if Peter was using Everclear for cleaning the lens, the sensor, or maybe he was using it for a lens. I forget. We talked about that at our summer party in the park.
You're talking about me?
Yes, I'm talking about you.
I'm sorry, I was away for about an hour on my ham radio nets. Everclear. Well, I do have Everclear at home. I use it for cleaning, but I don't recall using it on my camera lens or my sensor.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
Nice.
I knew you were using Everclear, but okay. So you were just cleaning the outside or whatever with it?
I never touched the camera stuff with Everclear.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, maybe I got confused.
Maybe I'm confused. Okay, anyways.
Cool. Well, thank you.
Those swabs that I bought, there's two different sizes, one for the APS-C size sensor, and then there's full frame sensor.
Yeah, and be very careful with it. You don't want to put a lot of pressure because you don't want to scratch the sensor. Make sure you get all the dust off before you swab it.
Yeah, like I
And
said,
watch out for streaks.
use the swab once across and tilt it the other way and bring it back, and then you throw the swab away. You don't reuse it or anything.
Yep, you don't reuse them.
There's always, you can send it out too, and that, but that's, some of the local stores, actually, I think there's only one store that might do that, where they'll clean your lens. I think it's $17 or $19.
Yeah, I think Jeff Dobbs does it at Crivello's.
Yes.
I would bet Arts probably does it.
I think I asked Arts, and I don't think they do, but I could be mistaken.
Yeah.
They used to, but they would take minimum 3 days, and they were more expensive. Crivello's, I think Arch was 75, Crivello's is 50, but they do it while you wait.
Yeah,
Oh,
Arts.
yeah.
I took my camera there, and Arts told me that they send it out, so it would be a minimum of 3 to 5 days.
Yeah.
I know I had my sensor cleaned there actually at the store there at Mike Carvello's, maybe a few months ago.
Thank you very much. All great information here.
Yeah, well, we're in Menomonee Falls Camera Club. I think we try and help each other out, and I think some of us have some pretty great ideas and suggestions, and some little hints that help out sometimes. Well, I guess it is 9:05. I guess we can call it a night, but I want to say thank you everyone for coming tonight. Thank you for the people that are participating in monthly challenges. I hope everyone enjoys them. I try and have, each month something different and unique. And I'm trying to have it, try and get the people to get out and challenge themselves. So thank you everyone for doing that. So I guess that would be it for this evening. If anyone else needs to make a comment or ideas or suggestions, I guess we could wrap it up.
All right.